Monkey see monkey do. Biden mimics VDL actions destroying US-UK relationship over trade deals. Joe Biden is parroting Brussels propaganda as his animosity towards Brexit threatens to derail lucrative trade talks between the US and UK, a foreign policy expert has warned. Former US President Donald Trump was a huge fan of Brexit Britain and its departure from the European Union, hinting on several occasions a wide-ranging trade deal with the UK could be imminent. But Mr. Biden, who has often referred to his Irish heritage, has not spoken highly of Brexit and has been particularly critical of the UK's management of the Northern Ireland Protocol. Brexit Minister Lord Frost wants to completely overhaul the pact overseeing post-Brexit trading arrangements in Northern Ireland. He has warned that if the EU don't cave to demands, the UK will trigger Article 16, which would effectively tear up the deal. The UK's International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan is flying to the US this week as she looks to significantly boost trade and diplomatic ties through meetings with several members of Mr. Biden's administration. Crunch talks will take place on Wednesday when she meets US Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo, where she is expected to push for an end to tariffs imposed on British steel and aluminium. But Niall Gardner, a foreign trade analyst and former aide to Margaret Thatcher, claimed the US president's animosity towards Brexit is creating avoidable problems in the special relationship with the UK. The expert claimed Mr. Biden's presidency has been hugely unhelpful in relation to UK-US relations, branding his foreign policy a complete disaster. Mr. Gardner said, "There is a lot of tension in the UK-US special relationship. That is the result of the Biden administration's animosity towards Brexit and the unwillingness from that administration to move forward with the US-UK free trade deal. The Biden presidency has been hugely unhelpful in regards to UK-US relations and Biden's foreign policy has been a complete disaster, as we saw with the Afghanistan withdrawal, damaging the US standing in the world. There isn't any momentum from the administration to move forward with a trade deal. That is a huge mistake because a trade deal between the world's largest and fifth largest economies will create several new jobs for Americans and is good for the US economy." He added, "The Biden administration is obsessed with the Northern Ireland Protocol issue and are recycling the talking points given to them by the EU. They are parroting the propaganda of Brussels." Ahead of her trip to the US for crunch talks, International Trade Secretary Mrs. Trevelyan has been urged to tell the Biden administration it is high time to lift punishing tariffs on British steel. During the presidency of Mr. Trump in 2018, the US slapped the EU with tariffs of 25% on steel products and 10% on aluminium, when the UK was still a member of the bloc. The US has scrapped tariffs on EU steel but has failed to repeat the move for the UK. Matt Schrapp, CEO of the Harbour Trucking Association, which represents Southern California port truckers, said at least 110,000 empty containers are sitting on chassis at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. "From our perspective, it is a utilization issue," he told the Washington Times. "We are constraining the chassis supply, but we are not effectively maximizing the use of the chassis. We are stuck in a storage conundrum." The shortage has increased costs for truckers, who are also dealing with higher gas prices and inflation. Most truckers rent chassis from equipment providers and pay for the time they use them. Mr. Schrapp said truckers who once waited 40 minutes for an open chassis are now waiting as long as 7 hours. "We don't get paid unless we are moving goods," Mr. Schrapp said. "But if you go into the marine terminals, which are extremely congested right now, you spend a lot of time waiting. The chassis make a difference because that's how you move a container." Last week, the Financial Times reported post-Brexit tensions with the EU over Northern Ireland are partly behind the delay. Government ministers are reported to have acknowledged some US figures are concerned about the UK's approach to Northern Ireland. But they have insisted the trade row with the US is entirely separate to Brexit negotiations. Ministers have acknowledged that some US figures harbour concerns over the UK's approach to Northern Ireland, but insist the trade dispute with the US is entirely separate to discussions on Brexit. A Whitehall source said, "We want to see tariffs dropped on both sides. But it needs to be on terms that work for the UK steel industry. It's good their Department of Commerce released a statement recently saying the administration will engage with the UK on trade issues like aluminium and steel. Now it's high time we get on and sort this issue.